The first RPG I ever saw was Dragon Warrior, which I played at a friend's house as a kid. I loved the medieval art style and the gameplay that was so different from the fast-paced action games I was used to. Despite it being very grind-heavy, there was something rewarding about killing slimes for hours so I could afford a new sword and new shield, which was shown on my character. The composer, Koichi Sugiyama, already had a well-established career before starting the soundtrack. Nobuo Uematsu even dubbed him a big boss of game music. Being in his 50s upon writing it, he already had several commercial projects under his belt. His classical training really shows in this game's music, which makes it so easy to transcribe. It seems as if he wrote classical music that was reprogrammed for the NES, rather than game music with the NES's restrictions in mind. I always teach Sugiyama's 8 melodies concept in my video game music classes. Though I've had some anecdotal conversations about what the true 8 melodies are, or if there are more, it still serves as a solid archetype. This town theme is paradigmatic of RPG town themes. It's composed like a galant-style keyboard work, with 2 distinct lines similar to one of Bach's inventions. Though it has its harmonic excursions which are appropriate to the overall style of the game's music, the composition is relatively simple, with few motives that mostly focus on subdominant, dominant, and tonic triads. The simple harmonies, parallel thirds, and the major mode are what Robert Hatton suggests is an interpretation of the pastoral topic. The theme is strictly in F major, though there is subtle use of secondary functions that temporarily tonicize the predominant and dominant harmonies. Historically, the key of F has been used in pastoral works, such as Beethoven's Pastoral Symphony, and Vivaldi's Autumn. According to a treatise by 19th century scholar Christian Friedrich Daniel Schubart in 1806, the key of F can be associated with gentle and melancholic feelings, and a sense of complacence and repose. These are traits that indirectly relate to pastoralism, though I'm not sure about the melancholic part, in that the music in these towns tends to be gentle and at a state of repose, perhaps suggesting the role of the town in relation to the game's plot. The player is temporarily safe. Since this was an early transcription of mine, it's crude. Here's an updated version, complete with annotations. It's short, so let's listen to it and then I'll explain how it works. The first 4 measures establish the key of F. The melody outlines an F chord with some embellishments. I mark the passing tones with the little letter P and the one neighbor group NG. The second half of the first phrase begins as a transposition of the first, but reharmonized on the dominant. Bars 5 and 6 is a simple subdominant-dominant tonic sequence with a couple of passing tones. The half cadence at measure 8 is prepared by means of a secondary dominant. You could even argue that we're in the key of C for a couple of measures. Bars 9 and 10 are identical to 5 and 6, but this time the subsequent phrase is the most chromatic one yet. It introduces the pitch classes G sharp and C sharp. We're only missing the flat 7, E flat, to achieve chromatic completion. This further embellishes the dominant chord before it resolves to 1. With this simple analysis, we vouch for pretty much every pitch in this piece, and without much debate, not every piece of video game music is easy to analyze as this one was.